Hi guys, it's Sabrina. Guess what? I am officially done with my first year of medical school, which is absolutely crazy. I can't believe how fast it went by, even though every day went by so slow. The fact that I'm actually done is crazy to look back on. And what's crazy is that I have been in school for almost 11 months, which that's insane. I don't think I've ever gone to school for that long. But I survived, and so I'm here to tell you guys how my first year of medical school went, like the good, the bad, and stuff like that. So as you guys know, for our first month of medical school, we actually had, our first like 6 weeks, we actually had an EMT block where we basically just read that entire EMT book, and then at the end you could take a test if you wanted to become EMT certified. Or we also did get CPR certified as well. So that was an option for us. We didn't have to get EMT certified at the end, but we could if we wanted to. And we just kind of learned like all the basics and stuff, which was really cool. It was a really chill way to start medical school, and it was just nice to introduce us into like learning and working together and stuff like that. So that's what we did, and we started that July 17th. So crazy. Alex is about to start hers July 16th, so I'm like, enjoy your summer vacation because it goes by very fast. She's currently in Romania right now with my dad, and me and my mom are leaving tomorrow. We're going to meet them in Santorini. I'm so excited to be going there because I've actually never been there before, and I've always wanted to go because it's so beautiful. So we're going to be there for a week, and I just cannot wait. I'm so excited to be on summer break. Sadly, I only get 4 weeks of summer break. We start school back in July. It's not exactly school, so hopefully it's a little bit more relaxing. It's more of a research project that we have to do for 6 weeks, so I'm excited to start doing that, but summer break's gonna go by so fast. And then after those 6 weeks in August, we get a 2-week break, so that'll be nice too. And then this is apparently our last summer vacation ever, because after that, every year you kind of just go through your summer break and just do stuff like clinicals and other things, and you don't really get one anymore. So that's the update on that, because a lot of people were asking, why is this your last one ever? And that is why it's my last one ever. So I'm going to try to make the best of it. And so after the EMT block, we just kind of went into school and started school. We started with the basic sciences for like 6 weeks. Then we went into separate blocks. So we had musculoskeletal, we had heme onc, we had CPR block, we had a gastrointestinal block, and each of them were like anywhere between like 5 to like 10 weeks. This last one was 12 weeks, so it was super long. And it was probably one of the hardest blocks I've ever had, actually. So definitely some of the most challenging tests I've ever taken too. And it was just crazy. So we have tests basically every 2 weeks, except for this last test was a 3-week test, which now that I know what a 3-week test is like, I don't know how people do the usual like 6-week test, because most medical schools have like 6 weeks and then they take an exam. But ours doesn't do it like that, and I just don't understand, guys. That was an overwhelming amount of material just for 3 weeks. And basically, we just learn everything at once, so it's very different from what other schools do in that we learn the pathology, we learn the pharmacology, we learn the physiology and the anatomy and everything all at once. It's going to be all on one test, and it's going to be all on one system, basically. So this past exam that we took was all on lungs, pathology, physiology, pharmacology, and stuff like that. So that was all on our test. It was really hard. It was one of the most challenging tests that we've ever taken, but I passed, and I passed my first year of medical school, which is really awesome. I did, you know, good on my tests, and definitely not at the top of the class, but I am really proud of myself and how far I've come and how much I've learned. It's insane. Like, I think back, and I remember like even in college, I didn't learn as much as I thought I was learning. Like in anatomy, I thought I was learning so much about the human body, and then you get into med school and you're like, wow, there's so much more, and it's so fascinating. And I love how our school does it. I like that we learn everything all at once because it's easier to tie it in together, and I really can't imagine doing it any other way. But at the same time, it can get so overwhelming sometimes. So I don't know, there's always of course the positives and the negatives. So anyway, and like the weeks went by really fast because you basically just study every day. For us, we have readings we have to do, so they give us a punch list at the beginning of the week. It has how much like we have to read from a certain chapter in a certain book, and it's not like required to do it, but I have no idea how else you're gonna find out what's on the test if you don't do it. So I would do it almost every week, and it can be a lot. It can be anywhere from like 50 to over 100 pages reading. It depends. And so that can take just the entire week to read all that, and then you have like the weekend finally to study the material, but then you have to start next week's reading. So it was just like crazy. I had to get into a really good schedule to like stay on top of everything and also have a social life and also have fun and also spend time with family and friends. So I did it though. I like somehow was able to balance everything. It's crazy how much you can balance when you are kind of forced to do it. Like, you will do it if you have to do it. So I definitely I'm not complaining about that. I'm happy I got to do everything my first year, from spend time with family, get good grades, stay on top of school, travel a little bit, like go back and forth between cities and stuff. So I'm not upset about that at all. The only thing that really like affected me over the past school year has been stress, and like just letting stress get to me and thinking that I don't have enough time to study ever, and just like having a lot of breakdowns because I don't think I'm smart enough or whatever. I let that get to me a lot this year, which is something I want to work on next year, to not let it get to me as much, because I am doing the best that I can and I'm surviving and I'm doing pretty well. And I just sometimes am really hard on myself. I'm sure a lot of people that are like type A personality, or just in general, we are very hard on ourselves, and it's just really hard when other people say that you're doing really great but you don't feel like you're doing great. So no matter what they're saying, you're like, nah, you're not, you don't know. But I know I am doing great, so thanks Mom, Dad, Corey, my sister, friends, that for always like making me feel better and always saying that you're doing the best that you can do and just believing in me. You really need a good support system when you are in med school, because it is really hard if you don't have one. If you don't have someone from the outside that can calm you down and tell you you're doing fine, and you just have yourself that has like all these spots and you think that you're not doing well and stuff, it's really hard. So that's really important to have a support system. Also, I don't know, it's just like crazy like how much I learned about like being a doctor too by shadowing my primary care doctor, and by also we have this doctoring course, and I just got to learn more about how to like interview patients, how to talk to them, how to give them bad news, and things that I just never had experienced before, obviously because I haven't been in medical school before. I have been studying my whole life basically, but I'd never like actually had patient interaction or one-on-one, and this has been really cool and really helpful. And I love that our med school just throws us into it our first year. So I think that was great. I learned so much, got to see so much, and just got to learn on how to like treat your patients and how to be the best physician that you can be. And honestly, it's all about listening to your patients and what they're saying. Sometimes they're literally just there to talk to someone that can understand what's going on with them. So I've learned so much. And the funniest thing that's been happening is my mom and just like family members in general will be like asking me all these questions about like what's going on. Like my mom will be like, what is this thing on my skin? Like, is it bad or is it good? Or they'll be like, what causes like high red blood cells and what causes this and that? And like from like what I've been learning, I've been able to kind of like help them out and give them answers and stuff. So I feel like a mini doctor sometimes in my family because they treat me like one. It's really funny. Obviously, I'm not going to go around telling people on the street what to do or anything, but it's cool to be able to talk to your parents about it, and they like listen to what you got to say, and they're like, wow, that's so cool. I didn't know this. And it's just really interesting to tie in like diseases or what's going on in your own body or your parents or your family's body, and be able to understand literally what's going on from school. So I just love it so much. It is so fascinating. Like, I really, really enjoy what I'm learning. Another thing that I have been doing, and I don't think a lot of people do this, or maybe they do, is since like, I think about March or February, I've been doing something called Anki flashcards every single day, about like 350 to 400 flashcards. And I've been reviewing like old material that we've learned before, like all of the hem-onc stuff, all of the basic science stuff, now the CPR block, gastrointestinal, and I have these flashcards and I do them every day to stay on top of the material. There are 26,000 flashcards that I want to get through before my step 1 exam next year, and I got into this because of Corey. He's like, you got to do your flashcards every day and you're going to get an amazing step 1 score. So that's what I've been doing. And honestly, it's been really helpful. I really like these flashcards a lot. And it's not like really stunning in a way. It's just like brushing up on old material, making sure I like remember it, seeing it over and over. Hopefully it gets stuck somewhere in here so I can remember it for the exam. But nothing like crazy serious. So I haven't exactly started step 1 studying. But of course I am freaking out about it, like everyone is, and now that I'm going to be a second year student, that is literally what's the most important part of your second year. So I recommend you guys check out Anki, maybe download their app and stuff and start doing flashcards if you guys are worried about studying for step 1. And that's what I've been doing. Also with our school, because we are doing old board questions during our exams, I've actually been already using Pathoma and First Aid to study. So that's been really helpful, and I think it's really good that I'm already getting primed and using these products. I've been using Sketchy too, which is absolutely incredible. I love Sketchy. Whenever my mom comes in and sees me studying Sketchy, she's like, "What are you doing, watching cartoons?" I'm like, sorta, and it's amazing. It's this like program slash type of way to study where they have like pictures and they have like mnemonics and stuff and ways for you to memorize based on like pictures. It's really cool. If you guys have never used it before, heard of it before, I definitely recommend it for your first year if you're doing microbiology or anything like that. It was amazing, and it is really good for pharmacology too, for different systems. So I started using that and I love it so much. So I'm probably going to be studying a lot of micro over the summer and a lot more like pharmacology, because I don't feel like we touched as much as I would have wanted to this past year. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of self-studying this summer, just to make sure I have this information down. I've seen it once, because I don't think I'm going to be seeing it at all until I actually take the step 1 exam. So I don't want to not know this material. So that's what my plans for the summer are. And these are really great resources if you guys want to try to use them if you're about to go into your first year of medical school. I'm definitely going to tell Alex about them, and a lot about like working with other people, being in groups. That was really cool. We had something called PBL, problem-based learning, where we got to chat with each other about a case in groups every 2 days of the week, and it was really awesome. That was really helpful. It was cool to analyze cases with other people and see how other people think. So I think it's really important. Teamwork is obviously very important in medical school. And we had a lot of really cool speakers come in that came and talked to us about different specialties. I am in a couple of interest groups, so I do recommend you join a couple. Keep your eyes and mind open. I still don't really know what I want to do, but I'm still like leaning towards family medicine. But once I enter my clinical years, I think I'll finally figure out what I want to do, so that'll be cool. Another thing is that a lot of people don't really understand what you're going through. So it's important to like have friends in your class too, because you guys can definitely bond and you guys are going through the exact same things. So those are people you can like go rant with, you can go study with. And it was really great to like get to know my classmates, to be able to confide in them, to study with them, and to like just experience things with them. So definitely recommend that. It took me a while to branch out and talk to people, as you guys know, but I eventually did it, and I have a lot of really cool friends and a lot of nice people in my class that I like a lot. So make sure you become friends with your classmates, I guess. Try not to be a recluse like I always try to be. And do I have any other advice for you guys? I don't think I do. Just have an open mind, be ready to study like crazy, realize that you're not always going to be perfect, you are going to make mistakes, and that's okay, because medical school is literally meant for you to learn. You are learning right now how to be the best physician that you can be, so that in residency and when you do become a doctor, you have all these skills down and you're ready to go. And you know, it's hard, it's tough. There are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. And you're going to make it through it all. Obviously there's going to be days where you just cry and you don't even know why you're crying, but you will be crying. And there's going to be days when you're just so happy and ecstatic and excited to be where you're at and to be doing what you're doing. And that's just medical school. So enjoy every minute of it, have so much fun, and I can't wait to hear about your guys' experience. And comment down below and let me know how your first year has gone, or if you're about to start and what you're nervous and excited about. And what other videos you want to see. I'm going to have a couple more pre-filmed for the week, so I will try to upload those for you guys, and I'll try to film in Europe. I don't know if I'll be uploading in Europe, but I'll keep you guys updated. So thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.